Hi, my name is Kenneth WAJDA. I'm a professional photographer here in Colorado. Welcome to another one of my photography talks. Today I want to talk about gear. Specifically, I had mentioned in a previous video that I was at a camera show in Denver a couple of weekends ago. One of the things I picked up was a Mamiya C330. And at this show, there are dealers and there are just regular people selling stuff. And this was from somebody who's a regular person. They weren't a photographer as a profession. They were just doing it for themselves. He called himself an artist. And he said he never really used it because the lens seemed to have some issue with the aperture ring is a little stiff. It's really stiff. And he didn't know if it worked. So I checked it out and it works. He didn't have the lens mounted right and everything seems to work. The C330 is one of the cameras that Mamiya made as a twin lens that when you wound the film, it actually reset the shutter. Real mechanically too, just this little lever right here, push down and reset the shutter. I can probably show it to you. So if it's shot and then you advance it, you can watch this little lever turn down. It literally, it pulls this little shutter reset down. Now I have used this and I ran a roll of film through it and I noticed that sometimes the return on the shutter reset, it doesn't go down far enough and then it doesn't properly seat that. So I found out the best way to use this is if I'm using this lens, it might be the way this lens sits. You know, you shoot a frame, then you reset it yourself and then you advance it. Well, I picked up this with an 80mm 2.8 and a 180mm telephoto lens. I think it's a 4.5. The two of them with the body for $150. So it was a really good bargain because these are really solidly well-built cameras. A lot of them were used for the wedding industry and they were beat to hell. And this one was in pretty clean shape. And I already have a C220 and the lenses on that, which I only have one, will fit on here, but that's a 55mm. So that's a wide angle lens. I'll put that wide angle lens on here. I can put an 80 on here, or I can put a 180. And I have a twin lens system that has two bodies, the 220 and this one, and it has three lenses, which as much as I love a Rolleiflex, unless you buy the Rolleiflex wide, you're forced to use one single lens, the 80mm. And the Mamiya, not only does it allow you to change lenses, but it also focuses much closer. It has an actual bellows in it, and you have to have a filter factor of the fact that you're using bellows. Sometimes you have to add a little bit more exposure as you're shooting this, and it tells you inside the viewfinder, based on how far out you are, how much you have to add exposure-wise, because the light gets lost inside those bellows some. But the camera can focus much closer. You can probably focus, I would say, within 6 inches, if I'm guessing at the moment. And this is a really sweet camera and a good buy for me. So I took it out yesterday. I was down in Boulder, and there's a really popular, really famous Irish pub that's been there forever. And it's called Conor O'Neill's. I've gone to it many times over the years, and they're closing tomorrow. So I went there yesterday, or actually they're closing tonight, after tonight. So I went there yesterday and we had a drink and we toasted the bar that we are going to miss. And I'm sure another nondescript bar is going to go in its place. But I took this and I shot some photos of it and people were commenting. I brought out the big guns to document this last couple of days, and I did. And I haven't seen those photos yet. They're actually drying right now inside the lab. So as soon as they're processed, I'll put one of the Irish pub in the links below, which I haven't seen yet. So I'm trusting there's one in focus and properly exposed, but the negatives look good. And but anyway, so this is a good camera to look for. You won't believe what I got the 220 for. I bought the 220 body for $1. It was at a local rummage sale, and it was just a 220 body with no lens and nothing else with it. And they had no idea what to do with it or how to possibly sell it with no lens. So I had to buy that 55mm lens on eBay. But the 220 was $1. This one with the two lenses was more than that. But I still think that, you know, all of these cameras are solidly built, well-built cameras. The lenses have the shutters. So if you get a lens and the shutter's a bum shutter, when you change lenses, you're getting a new shutter too. So this is a body that just holds the shutter and the aperture inside the lens, and it's interchangeable. So I think they're pretty great cameras, and they're big, they're heavy, my arms hurt. That's what makes a great camera. All right, that's today's photography talk. If you're enjoying these, hit that subscribe button and I'll bring you some more. Thanks for watching.